What if I told you that one of the most radical economic ideas in the world is completely free? It doesn't need permission from government. It doesn't need new laws or institutions. It doesn't even need anyone else to go first. You can do it today. You can do it alone. And it has the power to change not only your own life, but the entire logic of the economy that we live in. We talk about the economy as if it were a system of prices, markets, and rational agents. But the truth is far simpler and far more human. Most of the value in our lives doesn't come from transactions, it comes from gifts. And by gifts, I don't mean presents, I mean the countless acts of care, time, attention, help, and support that flow between people every day without any expectation of return. These are the gestures that hold families together, sustain friendships, and build trust in communities. In our personal lives, we already live inside a gift economy, we just don't call it that. There is a universal truth that every culture has recognized. To give is to receive. That is not a slogan, it's an observation about how human beings work. When you give freely, you receive something deeper than the object you've offered. You receive connection, you receive dignity, you receive a sense of purpose. You feel part of something larger than yourself. The paradox is that the more you give, the richer you feel. Acts of generosity create a sense of inner abundance and freedom. By contrast, the more you hoard, the less free you feel. Possessions begin to possess you. Fear grows, not wealth. Hoarding creates a prison, while giving creates freedom. Yet modern society has eroded this basic truth. Our economic system trains us to see everything as a transaction. We're encouraged to optimize, calculate, and monetize every part of life. Even generosity gets turned into branding or performance. The result is a culture of anxiety and loneliness. We become consumers of services rather than members of a community. What gets lost is the simple act of giving without keeping score. Conventional economic models don't take account of gifting. They would treat it much like charity, something pleasant but outside the real economy. Anything that doesn't involve a price or an exchange is quietly pushed to the margins. Gifting becomes like a voluntary gesture, an optional extra, an expression of personal taste rather than a serious economic act. Standard economic theory can't register the trust it creates or the community it sustains, because these forms of value lie outside the price system. Gifting works because it builds bonds that markets cannot create. It generates trust. It strengthens social capital. It reminds people that they're not isolated individuals, but members of a living community. In many traditional societies, gifting forms the center of economic life. Reciprocity arises naturally, not because people are saints, but because relationship itself carries obligations. These obligations are not oppressive, they're life-giving. People might say that this is sentimental nonsense. They might call it soft thinking, new age comfort, or romantic idealism. But it's none of those things. It's real, practical, and testable. Try it in your own life and you'll see that it works. Most of us already know the opposite to be true. We've all consumed more and more, and at some point it didn't make us happier. We've all felt that strange pull where whatever we have isn't quite enough, where every possession seems to demand an upgrade, a replacement, a new version. It's a cycle without satisfaction. Giving breaks that cycle in a way that consumption never can. We don't need to look to distant cultures to see this in action. There are already some modern initiatives that are quietly reviving the gift economy. Community gift circles are one example. Each person offers something they can give: time, skills, tools, or support. Someone needs help, someone else steps forward. No price, no barter, no calculation. Over time, a network forms that lowers costs, reduces waste, and builds trust. Then there is the buy nothing movement. Local groups where everything is given away, no selling, no swapping, no strings. It challenges the assumption that economic life must always be mediated by money. It helps people meet neighbors they would never have spoken to. It reduces waste and encourages sufficiency. It shows that community isn't an abstract idea. It's something you can build with simple, everyday acts of generosity. These initiatives reveal something important. Many people are desperate for connection. They want to share, they want to contribute, they want an economy that doesn't treat them as isolated units of consumption. Gifting gives them a way to reclaim agency. It restores a sense of belonging. If we want a humane economy, we cannot rely on markets alone. We need to rediscover the gift as a serious economic action, not a sentimental add-on, not a charming extra, something central, something fundamental. A gift economy isn't naive. It's one of the oldest and most resilient forms of economic life. And it begins with individuals. It begins with you. Every time you give without expectation, you reshape the economy around you. You create trust where there was none. You reduce waste. You build community. You show that value isn't confined to money. You take part in a different way of organizing life. That change in mindset is far more powerful than any government policy document or think tank report. It's a reminder that the richest moments in life come from giving something away. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.